everyone. This is Pecos Hank Shima, and you're listening to Stormfront Freaks Podcast.
And again, I'm telling you, when tornadoes start flying, they'll find you.
You know, I really don't like severe weather.
Really?
Yeah, it's high stress. People die. You know, and so it's not a lot of fun in that respect.
No better way to truly understand and communicate the weather that you're forecasting than to experience it.
I'm like, we got to go live. We got to go live. It's coming in. It's coming in. So we were, I think that was one of the earliest times we've been on the air live.
Well, the rental car stuff was a long story.
But that was a lot of fun with Phil and the gang. They do a great job over there.
The Stormfront Freaks Podcast, baby. It's the best in the world. Jump back.
Him laughing is funnier than anything.
I don't understand what happened. I really don't.
The following program is a production of the Stormfront Freaks Network.
So, hey, Storm Freaks, it's Phil, and we've got our first six-timer on the show tonight. And it's not a reference to his relationships, but World Hurricane Chaser Josh Morgerman. He's going to prep us for the tropical storm season. Plus, I'll tell you what, we've got Weather Fools, Tornado Trailer Trash, and lots more, all in episode 237 of the Stormfront Freaks Podcast.
Going green. Greenwich. Saddle them up. You got it, boss.
All right, everybody. Hey, welcome to the most entertaining weather podcast. This is the award-winning Stormfront Freaks Podcast, and it's brought to you by our ever-growing YouTube member team. They're starting to scroll across the bottom of the screen there, so I want to just thanks and shout out to all of our members. Let's see who's joining us in the chat tonight as well. We got Diane, Mandy, Fuzzy, Carly's on there, Caitlin, Alina, Lucy. Of course, we got Angela and Dan. They're in the background, our VIPs. They're in the green room. Supercell, he's joining us. That's awesome.
Hey, I even got a shout out from Fuzzy. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah.
You're a stud. I'll tell you what, if you'd like to support the show and become a member of the team, we got a couple different tiers that include benefits like some unique emojis that Brady has put together. We got some member-only content, discounts on merchandise, and lots more. And if you haven't joined us yet, come on over to YouTube. If you're watching us on Facebook or Twitter right now, come on over to YouTube. Hit the we got a thunderstorm warning.
Sorry, I'll turn that off.
That's all right. Otherwise, we're going to get a lot of that. Hey, we appreciate all the support. So thanks for helping us continue to create some content for you all. And again, as I said, if you're watching us on another platform, you're going to get a much better experience if you come on over to YouTube. Go to our Stormfront Freaks page, watch us live there, because then you can join us in the chat.
That's where we get paid. That's where we get paid, Phil.
Well, that too. But we're trying to
get paid. We get paid.
Sorry, Dina. All the guys are getting paid. You didn't know
It's the best viewing experience by far.
Whoops. You weren't supposed to share that, Greg. But I also want to just thank everybody in advance for your super chats, what we tend to do on the podcast. If you got questions for our guest, Josh, tonight, or any of us, all of our super chats, we'll make sure we get to you guys tonight at some point and get those questions asked as well. So the other thing, and all of you, all the freaks know this already. If you're watching, listening, you might know this too, but we're excited to announce the fact that for the first time in 10 years, we have an official weather app of the Stormfront Freaks, and it's Weatherfront. If you haven't heard about Weatherfront, guys, you're really missing out. Brady's kind of showing his iPad there, but it's on iOS. They're working already on an Android version of it. But if you've got an iPhone, an iPad, something like that, what's great about it, folks, is it's sharp, it's clean. Dina's showing it as well. Looks professional. I mean, it's amazing because it's got super resolution radar. It's got all the numerical models, weather models. It's got point soundings, observations, satellite. You can even, if you're a chaser, you can download the road maps so that if you're in a bad area and not getting real good cell signal, you'll have all those road maps already downloaded to your phone or your iPad, so that you've already got that as you're looking at the radar and everything. It's great. So what I love about it, it's packed with everything that I'm looking for, and it doesn't have all the other noise that I don't need, that's just messing things up and putting more crap on the screen that I don't need to look at. But you can download the free version at your iOS App Store. Brady, what do you think so far? I know you've been working with it a little bit.
I think it's actually surprised me how much I do love it. I think it's a great radar, and there's a lot. It's got all the features that you expect out of a radar app, but also it's got the models, which I don't think any other app has that right now. And you have to actually, a lot of people will pay for a separate subscription to models, to Pivotal, to Weatherbell, but this has all that in one app.
And I hate switching over to a satellite app too, right?
Like, yeah.
Remember, Phil, it's got radar, it's got observations, it's got all in one epic app with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you know what? I know you've been looking at it. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it because I've been beta testing it too. And I feel like Brady said, it's a one-stop shop. You don't have to like close it, open another one, open satellite, open another one for like winds and layers and models. Like it's all there. I like it. It's clean. You can change the base map colors. I've been playing around with that. Road colors. I haven't tried downloading the roads yet, like you were talking about, Phil, but that's actually a really cool idea. And I like that because it actually does give me some road names, unlike some other ones. You zoom down and you're kind of like, then you got to go over and open Google at the same time when you're chasing. So I really like that feature. And I've been getting I've been giving my opinions too, feedback with the beta testing, and it's taken really well, and I'm excited for it.
So I'm going to do this. So part of what we're doing as being a part of the weather app, being Weatherfront being the official weather app, the Stormfront Freaks, is every couple of weeks we're going to be giving away a free plus subscription, so you can upgrade from the free version, because you can get there is a free version, obviously, of Weatherfront. So what I'm going to do tonight, everybody watching the show live right now, if you go to Twitter X and just search at Stormfront Freak, or the key is this: just send a message that has at Stormfront Freak on it, on the message, on the post, and it says at WX Front. At WX Front is the best. I just came up with that, but
and then you get one. And
the first person, no. The first post that I see on Twitter X,
okay, all right,
that tags
hurry up
at Stormfront Freak. So tag us so I see it, but then put at WX Front is the best. Whoever's first one, I'll DM you and we'll get you a code.
Oh, so I was first.
You can upload it first.
I was first.
Awesome. All right. So, hey, tell you what, enough of that. It's time now to find out who's here tonight from our co-hosts and give you our wicked weather report.
All right, gang. I'm storm chaser and photographer Greg Johnson. And listen, guys, since late May of 2025, wildfire smoke from fires up here in Canada, from Manitoba, Saskatchewan, up even into the Northwest Territories. This smoke has been blanketing the eastern United States, creating red sunsets, poor air quality from Minnesota to Michigan, and frankly, all across Canada. 22 million people faced air quality alerts this week. Personal weather gear like N95 masks became critical for residents, especially kids and those with lung conditions. Real-time air quality alerts found on many weather apps combined with home purifiers have been vital for safety during this smoky period, showing how personal gear and tech work together to combat weather-related health risks. So if you're in a place where you got a lot of smoke, take caution because it can be very hard on your lungs. Over to you, Dina.
Bueller. Greg, you forgot to do what are you drinking too?
Sorry. Thank you, Greg. I was drinking and I didn't want you to hear me gulping. All right. Thanks, Greg. I'm meteorologist Dina Knightley. On May 28th, 2025, NOAA's National Severe Storms Lab published a study analyzing the WARN-ON forecast system's performance during recent Midwest storms. The study tested short-term forecasts for severe weather across 3 regions, including the May 18th Texas outbreak. It found that the system extended tornado warning lead times by up to 30 minutes. That's a significant leap from the current 15-minute average. Researchers used data from Doppler radar and weather balloons to refine predictive models aiming to reduce fatalities. The study's release sparked discussion about improving public safety through the advanced forecasting, marketing a step forward in tornado preparedness. Brady, I hear you have a hail of a report to share.
Did you come up with that? Did you come up with that, Dina?
No.
That was pretty
but,
good.
But, you got to use it when you can.
All right, guys. Well, welcome. Having a little bourbon tonight. And it has been a long, crazy day. But I do have a hail of a report to share. I'm Team Dominator and Outbreak Aftermath meteorologist Brady Stormcat 5. And on May 27th of 2025, a severe thunderstorm unleashed grapefruit-sized hail. That's like as big as my giant head. And, across central Kansas, causing widespread destruction. I think I remember this storm, actually. In Russell County, hail up to 4 inches in diameter. That's this big. Obliterated wheat fields and damaged farm equipment with losses estimated in the millions. That's a lot of money, guys. The storm, part of a broader severe weather event, also brought 70-mile-an-hour winds, toppling trees, power lines, all in the Great Bend. Social media posts from local farmers, of course, they always get the best photos and videos. They shared shattered windows and ruined crops. Very sad, highlighting the economic toll. The National Weather Service confirmed the storm's intensity, noting it was one of the most destructive hail events of 2025. It was a hail of a weather report, and this storm disaster underscored the vulnerability of rural communities in sudden extreme weather. Jen, who's not here, I hear you have a weather radio survival story. She's surviving her own story right now because she's in the tornado in Lubbock right now.
She is. So Jen's not joining us tonight. She's actually chasing the storms there down in Texas. We're Greg, I'm going to turn it over to you to introduce our guest tonight.
Yeah, well, gang, listen. Josh Morgerman, what can I say? He's the man who runs towards the monster storms when the rest of the world is running away. He's the eye wall assassin, the pressure drop junkie, the storm chasing legend who's been in over 80 hurricanes. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to also say, he's also got the thickest beard in storm chasing, and he's actually building a reputation as the party host with the most. It's Josh I Cyclone Morgerman.
Thank you. Yeah, I like that intro. That was an appropriate rock star material there.
You got walk-in music there. That's awesome for you.
It's amazing that we got the rights to play this song too. It's actually tremendous.
I'm all for it, man. I want this kind of introduction every time I walk into a room.
So I got to say, I really wasn't, I didn't give this enough work over the last week or so, Josh, but I did remember about Friday that we're gonna have this thing coming up Thursday. So I haven't shaved in a few days, and I'm trying to compete. How did I do, guys?
You're getting scruffy.
Looks a little gray.
I think I've asked you this before, Josh, but is this just a natural thing, or do you use that brush in men's hair coloring to
You're not
give
supposed
that
to ask stuff like that, Greg. Unless that's just women.
My masculinity and my image comes from within, and it's all like a natural thing. So
he's
listen,
just a manly man, Greg.
he is a man. Okay, before we get into the storm chasing stuff and the hurricane outlook for this year, which I know everyone wants to hear your opinion on, but before we get into that, tell us about this party host, this annual thing that you've got going that seems to be growing, and people are talking about it, and how do I get an invite to Josh's party? So Tell us about it.
Have you heard conversations like that? Because
yes, I literally have heard people say, how can I get an invite?
Okay, so mixed feelings about that. A side of me is deeply flattered to have an event that people want to come to. The other side of me, I was a nerd in high school. I was not invited to things. And my most important thing as a grown up is not to be that person who my biggest fear is that I didn't invite someone that I should have invited. And
so you're not that jerky quarterback who didn't invite everybody else.
No, I was not invited to things. No, seriously, I was like a 15-year-old. I was really hurt by it. I'm serious. I'm being very serious for a second.
Yeah.
And I'm grown up. I just never want to be that guy. And so I err on the side of inviting people, but it's a big party and there's a lot of people. And I'm sure I spaced on a couple. So God, if I did, I feel bad, because basically anyone who I've met in person at any events or conferences and who I had even a passing friendliness with, I'm like, they're invited. So, so if I left anyone out, I'm very sorry. Please forgive me.
Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, Josh is the host with the most. But Josh, 80 hurricanes. Is there one? Before we get into 2020, is there one from your past that just stands out as the ultimate hurricane?
Oh yeah, definitely Dorian in the Bahamas. Not just a Category 5, but a high-end Category 5. Just way up there, and just went right through the eye wall, right through the eye, like a clean hit on a flat island. So there was no friction, and that was some scary. Can I curse on this podcast? I forgot.
Yeah, you can.
It was some scary shit.
What you want, baby.
And no, it was like that one. Just the force of the wind. It was like sledgehammers. I was in a.
Hey, where were you?
Building. I was on Great Abaco Island, and I was in the Bahamas. When I was in basically the de facto capital of that island is a little town called Marsh Harbor. And I wrote it out. I never do this. I never write out hurricanes in shelters or anything because I want autonomy. That one got so hardcore that I was like, all right, I need to be on a hill and I need to be in a concrete building. So I wrote it out in a school, in a room with 10 people that I didn't know. And man, we were just in this little classroom, and the force of that wind hitting those concrete walls and just the sound of it. And it just, you could, what video doesn't capture is when you're in a really industrial strength eye wall like that, is you feel it in here, you feel it in your ears, all kinds of weird shit happening with your body. It's really scary, and video doesn't capture it.
I remember that, Josh, because didn't you lose connection for the longest time?
Oh yeah.
Because I remember people, including me, I was freaking out on Twitter. I'm like, is he alive? People were losing it because we didn't know if you were alive or not because it's just a direct hit.
So Josh, are you talking about the low pressure, how it affects the body? Was it the low pressure or just the intensity of the wind? Or
it was the intensity of the wind. So it's not the barometric pressure. It's that when you have gusts over 200 miles an hour slamming the building, that actually creates all kinds of momentary pressure fluctuations that kill your ears. Every time a gust hit the building, everyone was in the room. It was, and it's because of that's what makes roofs rip off and stuff. It's these pressure changes caused by those winds passing over the building. And you could feel your eardrums just throbbing. It was very harsh. And it was scary. And then, went through the eye. The building we were in was so badly damaged that we had to figure out somewhere else to go. I was with 10 strangers, and all of a sudden we're family. Out of the 10, it was actually 12 of us, I think. Only 3 of us had cars that worked anymore, mine being one of them. The one next to mine blew away. Mine was just still there. The 3 of us had to pile into the 3 cars to find somewhere else to go for this before the backside hit. Imagine this, no radar, no nothing. So we're in this intense hurricane. We don't know when the backside's going to hit. This is the kind of hurricane, you can't drive around in it. If the backside hits and you're caught out in it, you're dead because the air is just filled with flying missiles. We managed to find a government building about a mile away. It was the longest mile drive I ever experienced. We got to the building, people from every direction running toward this building, trying to get in it before the backside hit. It was apocalyptic. So then, yeah, I was trapped there for days, living in that car. That car became my home. I was living on nuts, peanut butter, and crackers with no.
Hey, who doesn't?
Hey, at least you
I
had
don't
it.
know. I need more than that. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, why
Yeah.
did you move? You were in a like, was the building falling apart? Like you said, you were in a decent building, a school, and then you like you were in the eye, and then you moved.
The building became a humanitarian disaster. There were hundreds of people in it. The plumbing stopped working. The smells were beyond horrible.
Oh. This is at the school?
The suffering. No, it was the main government building because the school had been destroyed that we were in. And I just decided, you know what? I'd rather just live in my car for a few days because I kept it. My way of like getting through these experiences, I've gotten very good at like shutting off my emotions, being very focused when I'm stuck in like a developing nation. I know I'm going to be there for days. Everything's destroyed. Don't know how I'm going to get out. Just focus, be zen, be task oriented. And I just found it easier to do that living in the car. I kept the car very clean and orderly. It was a way of sort of creating order in the chaos. During the day, I was helpful. I drove one guy to a medical clinic I drove another guy to his house to get his belongings because his house was destroyed. But at night, I just stayed in the car, kept a low profile because I stood out as a foreigner.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, like, do you become a target? And again, I mean, probably in a normal circumstance, obviously, they're humans, you're human. It's probably not an issue that you stand out. But in that moment where people have lost everything and, kind of humanity, like it's Lord of the Flies all of a sudden.
Jeez.
Like, did you ever feel that sort of like, hey, my life is in danger, not from the hurricane now?
100%. I think in the aftermath of like the big ones, that one or Super Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines, when you sense a complete societal breakdown, just a complete unraveling of how things work and normal sort of human relationships. And it's no criticism of any one of these places. It's just what happens. Absolutely. You feel like a target. And, in the Bahamas in particular, just because of my appearance, I stood out, and by the way, I got no bad vibes from anyone, but I was mindful of, okay, am I a target? Like I said, during the day, I tried to be helpful. I was stuck there. I'm a healthy guy and I had a car that worked. So I was like, I want to be helpful. But at night I laid low, stayed in the car, parked it next to some bushes. And I had a rule. No, I didn't turn on the devices or anything because I didn't want to create any light where people could see that someone was in the car. And by the way, I had no communication or anything anyway. The phone was useless.
What about fuel?
So Josh,
I had plenty of fuel because the island was quite small and I had nowhere to, I had like the areas that I was driving we're talking a couple of miles here and there, just because the roads were mostly blocked anyway, just small distances to, like I said, just to be helpful in small ways.
Josh, I'm almost afraid to ask this because you said that, there was times that you feared for your safety and you were in this government building. And it brings me back to Katrina, where there was a lot of violence going on in the stadium. Like, I'm almost afraid to ask, but did you see any of that? Or was it semi relatively under control?
In the Bahamas after Dorian, I did not witness any violence. I witnessed a lot of very desperate people. I didn't witness like anyone being horrible or anything. I witnessed people in need, and it was disturbing. The aftermath of Super Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines a decade before that was one where it rattled me so badly. It was the first time in my life I was like, I don't want to chase anymore. And I actually, for like about almost a year, was just like, all right, I'm done with this. Because that was like dead bodies in the streets and just, injured children and just things that like really upset me.
Yeah.
And it was the first time where that stuff it outweighed my sort of meteorological fascination. I was just like, ew, I don't want to see this anymore. I don't want to do this, and it's funny because since then my career has gone on to like bigger peaks, but I remember at that time just being like, I'm fucking done with this. I don't want to do this anymore.
So Josh, talk a little bit about last year. What was 2024? What was your 2024 like?
Okay. I'm going to say something like unpopular, like for our audience. like, and I'm talking as, okay, I'm not talking about the societal impact. I'm not talking about the damage. I'm not talking about whether they were bad storms. I'm talking about as hurricane specimens to someone who has like a hurricane fetish. Okay. The American storms were all garbage, and all of my real chasing, like the really like wow, intense, interesting storms were all in East Asia. A couple of typhoons in Taiwan, and then like a big ass whopper finale in the Philippines. Like an intense like category 4 went right through the eye, just like crazy ass wind. So everyone, I think most folks think about all the impacts in Florida. For me, 2024 was all about like sort of my return to East Asia after years of really being very like kind of North America focused.
Do you ever run into James Reynolds when you're out there, or do you guys actually kind of hang out? Is there like a hurricane chaser, typhoon chaser kind of like bar that you guys go to in Taiwan when you're there?
Yeah, James. So James is my bestie in the sort of weather world. Like he and I are like really close. We chased together for a while, then we stopped chasing together because it's like just
you getting the same footage.
Yeah, exactly. It's that's the thing. It's like my biggest joy when I go on a storm chase is to get in there and then get some very unique perspective of like some unique angle of the storm that no one else gets. And if you're
Uh-oh.
We're starting to lose him.
Let me. Do you want me guys to finish his statement?
Do it, Greg.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Well, he's just going to talk about how when you have the right angle, when you get that unique story, of course, even if it's not like the most incredible footage, it's unique. And
sorry about that. Am I back?
That's all right.
Okay.
I was just finishing your statement.
Greg
for
finished your comment.
Great work, Greg. You did great,
You
my
and
friend.
Greg can finish each other's sentences now.
What did you say?
Let me tell you what I thought you were going to say.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say, listen, when you're in that environment, even if you don't get the world's greatest footage, as long as it's a unique and interesting story, then it doesn't matter if it's like the world's perfect image that you might have had better image, but if the story's interesting, then people still going to care about it.
And unique.
That's a really good point. And so James and I, so we sort of separated and we stopped chasing together. And actually for a while we kind of like didn't talk that much because we're, I shouldn't speak for James. I'm very competitive. I always say this, and some people get really pissed, but I'll just say it. Like chasing is a professional sport to me, and I'm a competitive guy. I don't know if it's because of my dad pushed me really hard in high school.
You are that
sport.
quarterback. You are that
Yeah,
quarterback.
he's a quarterback.
Dang.
At least he invites people.
My dad was a hard ass and he pushed me hard. It's just how I am. And it's how I am with storm chasing. And I think there was also a little bit of that. But James and I, we sort of like come back together. We're really good friends. We trade notes. So basically what we do now is when we're chasing a storm, we give each other room, but then usually after the storm, we'll get together in Manila in like a nice hotel on a rooftop. And we'll have like, kind of like a cool, like sort of like a city night together to kind of just trade notes. James and I call it the afterglow after a good chase, that feeling of like after days of tension and hunting and physical discomfort and just like feeling nervous about it. Just you come through, you get a good chase, and then you're in the city, you're showered up, you're feeling good, you're having a big meal, and you're with your best friend. And we have like great experiences, either in Taipei, Tokyo, Manila. We're kind of just meeting random cities wherever we are.
We're very much like that here at the Stormfront Freaks, except
our
place is Lubbock, Texas.
Oh gosh, which we would have been perfect tonight. I mean, it would have been like
Manila and Singapore, and we're gonna go to.
This is the difference. I think that there's a big difference, like the tornado chasing culture. Tornado chasing, because of the U.S. is the tornado capital of the world, it's a very American centric kind of chase culture. The hurricane chasers, the hardcore ones that are doing it worldwide, it's more. I feel like I'm just gonna say it, and you can disagree. I feel like we're the James Bonds. We're like international, small gadgetry.
I can see you in a suit.
Thank you.
I can see you.
The James Bond. Oh my God.
We're and you go attack me. Go ahead. Bring it.
You guys, you hurricane guys are like the Austin Powers
No.
To our
Okay, now I'm
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
I'm just
All right, I
saying.
have a question for you though. Okay, so you've got a typhoon coming to say Taiwan. At what point do you say, it's not worth me spending the money
a
to
great
get
question.
out there versus
Mhm.
yeah, let's do it. I mean, does that have to be a certain category? Directly go right over the island? Like, what's your thought process?
Oh, it's $1 million question. The thought process is just OCD, neurotic, freak out, ripping your hair out of your head, looking at every frame of every model, every run. It's like the most unpleasant part of the whole thing is, should I pull the trigger and go after that one? Now here, if I'm in Mississippi and something's going to hit Texas, yeah, whatever. I don't care if it's a piece of crap. Get in the car and go. If it sucks, whatever, have dinner at Buc-ee's. But flying to Taiwan or Japan is like it's expensive, it's time consuming, it's a pain in the ass. So that's a really hard thing. Now, generally, I've had good luck. I've made good calls. Generally, when I go for it, I nail a good eye wall. But I've had a couple times, man, where I've gone 7,000 miles, 3 different flights to some dot off of Japan, and the eye wall misses by a few miles. No, oh no, dude, it's the worst. It's like you just want to kill yourself. And I'm sorry, that's I shouldn't say that. But I'm sorry, I should not.
Especially if you're on an island and you can't get. It's not like you can drive and haul ass over somewhere.
I call it island roulette, and it's my least favorite kind of chasing. What I like about chasing the United States or Mexico is you have these long contiguous land masses. You can just drive wherever you want to go, get right where it's coming to shore. The island thing is you got to pick a dot.
Good point.
And you have to pick it a little bit in advance. And sometimes you pick it and sometimes you score big. It's like jackpot. And sometimes, it just misses and it hits the other island that you had the plane, other ticket to go there, but you canceled it. And you just it's a total mind fuck. And it's I call it island roulette. And it's especially painful when it's, 7,000 miles away and you blew a whole week of your life and thousands of dollars to get there. So I haven't had too many bad busts in the Western Pacific, but the Western Pacific is all that, like typhoon country. It's not like chasing in the US. It's all little islands. Even Taiwan is an island. The Philippines is a bunch of islands. It's all mountainous islands, spaced apart. A lot of places don't have radar. The flights are unreliable. They cancel. It's just it's a whole different ball game chasing out there.
I hear the food's pretty good though, right, Josh? I hear the food out there is pretty decent.
It depends. I'm not gonna. I'll just say it depends what country. Some places it's delicious.
Spiders on a stick, anyone?
Well, on that note, because I know everyone's getting hungry. Hey, if you're not watching us live on YouTube, come on over to youtube.com/StormfrontFreaks. Join us in the chat for the best viewing experience. But we're going to take a short break. We're going to be right back with more from Josh and take your super chat questions. So stay tuned.
In a world where tornadoes and hurricanes and blizzards run rampant, destroying everything in their path, one man and one team of freaks stands in their way, covering it all on one show.
We have a confirmed tornado
from afar and from up close. That man is Storm Cat 5. That team is the Stormfront Freaks. And that show, this show, is Outbreak.
All right, guys, that was a epic transition. Now we are doing
epic.
It was epic.
Sorry, I say epic a lot.
So tiny though. Make yourself.
This
bigger
is
there.
the official Outbreak forecast, and we're going to do this live on the spot. We just got to get. I think I need to do a graphics card here, but. Outbreak, we're going to be showing you exactly what to expect tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday because we've got multiple days of severe weather expected. We had an absolutely crazy day. We had a PDS tornado warning that was issued for the town of Lubbock, Texas, where they did have multiple tornadoes earlier today. It's now severe thunderstorm warning, but a major day of severe weather that we had today. Now, we are expecting more of the same tomorrow as we go to the convective outlooks. Once again, I'm doing this all on Weatherfront, so massive shout out to those folks. Here's the convective outlook for today. This is the Storm Prediction Center outlook. Let's take a look at tomorrow. Look at this. This is a big whale. This is a big fish of a risk here as I pull up the pen. Hold on. Oh, gosh. Hold on. There we go. Hold on. I'm still getting used to it, guys. I'm still learning. But we've got a big fish risk here. Got a nice face right in there. Hold on. It's coming back. All right. There it is. Got a nice little fish risk here tomorrow. This is slight risk for tomorrow. That's a 2 out of 5 risk that goes through Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, into Arkansas as well, where there is a tornado threat tomorrow. We've only have a 2% risk. We're going to go ahead and take that fish off, but that risk goes from, once again, up into Colorado, through Oklahoma, through Arkansas. We do have a 2% risk of getting some tornadoes tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if they did upgrade that risk tomorrow based upon where any outflow boundaries were to set up, just like they did today. And we saw what happened today when those storms rode along that outflow boundary. Stop me if you heard this, but we've got more severe weather expected on Saturday. Another slight risk, another fish, right? This is a big time fish here.
There.
I know. Dina is in this severe weather risk, and it is a big time. This is a shark type risk that goes from Oklahoma through Arkansas, through Kentucky, through Nashville, even includes Atlanta, Georgia, where Dina is. And once again, tornadoes are possible, just like we've been talking about. Now, if I show you just a couple of models, let me pull up one model to show you the potential radar of how this could all go down. Let me pull up the HRRR, which is my favorite, one of my favorites. We're going to go over here, check out composite reflectivity. We're going to go over here. We're going to check out the, let's go to the 0Z, which just ran. So here's what, exactly. Perfect timing.
Perfect.
So here's how this all could go down tomorrow, guys. We are going to have storms move through Oklahoma City tonight. Look at this, guys. Later tonight, Oklahoma City is going to get, as local man would say, absolutely pounded. Josh, do you have a phrase that you like to say when you get pounded?
Yeah, I do.
Just let it go. I'm going to let that go.
No, like when you're in the eye of a hurricane, do you have a phrase?
Yeah, I say, oh, yeah, we got totally raked with a K. But a couple of times I said it where people thought I said with a P. And I was like, no, not that hardcore, just raked.
Damn.
This show is devolving quickly, Phil.
Sorry, you asked.
All right, Oklahoma City is going to get absolutely raked here tonight as these storms move through late tonight. Rake with a K, rake with a K. And then tomorrow, watch what happens once. By the time we wake up tomorrow morning, that MCS should be mostly gone. But as we go in the afternoon, another day of supercells. Look at this. This model has another supercell moving over the town of Lubbock. Dina, are you kidding me? I mean, this is exactly like today.
That probably, if that hits the hotel we've spent how many years at, I'm going to just be mad.
It's insane. That is literally going to hit the hotel that we always stay at when we go storm chasing. But if I zoom out further, guys, we've got severe storms. They're going to be possible. Look at this cluster over here in Tennessee. Big time summertime MCS is going to roll through. I have a friend that's going down here to Atlanta. So, Dina, these storms are going to be coming right for you. Once again, that is tomorrow as we go into tomorrow night. And those storms are going to march their way into Georgia tomorrow into the over an hour. So, guys, that's all we got for you today. But an epic couple of days of severe weather. Phil, back to you.
Well done, Stormcat 5.
Weatherfront! It'll have you blow by the competition! It's got radar, observations, models, all in one epic app. Blow by the competition! Woo!
Weatherfront, the official weather app of the Storm Front Freaks Network.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
All right, so we are back with the one and only Josh Morgerman. Josh, so this is the 6th time you have officially been on a Stormfront Freaks podcast. Now that doesn't count a couple other special things that you've done with and through us, but 6 times. No one else has been on this podcast 6 times. So you hold that record, my friend. But here's what I want to know about, because I've been following you on social media, and for the last year plus, it's all about this hurricane house in the off season, and it's this hurricane house that you're building, and this hurricane house at, in Mississippi. And so, brother, I need to know a little bit more about this hurricane house, because you teased the crap out of it.
No, I did.
I love it.
So when I was growing up, I'm a Yankee. I grew up in New York, where we'd get this sort of unraveling, crappy hurricanes, not the really hardcore Gulf kind. And when I was growing up, I'd read about the big hurricanes in the Gulf Coast. And the one I always thought a lot about was Camille, Category 5. It's like the ultimate hurricane. And the eye passed right over this town called Bay St. Louis. And so when I was a teenage weather nerd in New York, this place Bay St. Louis had this sort of mystical sort of vibe to me, because it had been through the eye of a Category 5. So lo and behold, many years later, during the pandemic, I started renting a cottage in Mississippi so I could, be kind of in hurricane country, because there was no air travel for a while. And I was renting a cottage in this place where I had all these kind of weather fantasies about, and I enjoyed living here, even though I'd kind of always lived in kind of big cities or around big cities and everything else. I really dug it. And so I decided to build a house, and it's a little crazy because this place is prone to nuclear grade hurricanes, not just Camille, but Katrina. This was ground zero. My house is a block from the Gulf. I could see the Gulf from the front lawn. So it's kind of asking for it. And people are like, well, why would you do that? I'm like, I think this is, and I think you guys can all relate because you're all storm chasers. I think, don't we all just kind of get off a little bit on living on the edge, living
get off all the time on that.
Josh,
living in danger.
Josh, let me tell you every tornado chaser's dream scenario, okay? Because every time there's a tornado outbreak on social media, we see videos that get posted by Random Guy 5.
Like today.
Right? He's on his porch. He's I'm going to say lucky enough that he's filming with his camera vertically, of course, right? And he's filming a tornado, and it's right beside, and he has no appreciation for the fact that this is happening, right? This is my dream. Just once in my life, I want to storm chase at home. You're going to get that opportunity at some point, right? Statistically, it's going to happen.
Yes. And okay, what's crazy is even the first year I was living here, I was renting a cottage. We got raked with a K by the right eye wall of Hurricane Zeta. I literally, I wrote it out on my front porch. It was like I was in the optimal position. But yes, this place is going to get some unbelievable, impacts here. And that is why I have a Mesonet grade weather station. And I'm not joking, a Mesonet grade weather station on the back lawn and with the anemometer on a 10-foot mast. Like I'm not messing around, man. When we get them, what's that?
How did you pull that off?
I had a telephone pole like that kind of thick, just driven into the back lawn. Like I was not messing around. My neighbors all think, oh God, this guy's crazy. He's like this freaky mad professor, like the telephone pole in his back lawn. But no, I'm not messing around, man. When we get another big hurricane, I'm going to get unbelievable data. But yeah, it's all about just that thrill of, it's good. Like they're going to come to me sometimes, and it's dangerous. And, my block was wiped away in Hurricane Katrina. I mean, just obliterated, but I don't know. There's that side of me that just, I think I need to live on the edge of the cliff, kind of.
Do you know, Josh? Do you know how much storm surge it can take at the house?
Yeah. So I before I bought the property, I researched this. So my property is 19 feet, and then the floor of the house is 4 feet above that. So my floor level is 23 feet. So that is actually completely fine for anything except a 300 to 500 year event. Even in Camille, even in that category 5, from what I could tell from the old timers, my street maybe had like a foot of water, maybe.
That's insane.
So my sort of thinking was, okay, 300 to 500 year event. If I eat right and exercise, I'll be here, another 50 like, take care of it all. And I'm like, all right, there's a 1 in 6 to 1 in 8 chance of this house getting hit by storm surge again. I'm like, I'm okay with those odds. So it's sort of living on the edge.
Has Marvel contacted you yet?
Who?
Marvel?
Exactly.
The Marvel universe, like the Hurricane Man, like it seems like a natural to me. Yeah,
well, no, that's
man.
Josh, that's incredibly smart because like Josh, just like there's a lot of people like my parents live down in Florida, and it's just when you buy a house, there's not a lot of people that think about, is this house going to get destroyed by a hurricane? How high is it off the ground? How high is it above sea level? And I feel like that's first of all, that's a really valuable piece of property. If you're on the Gulf and you have to get 20 feet plus of storm surge, like I feel like they need to like market that more, just because it is such a huge thing with, if you can be in a category 3, 4, 5 hurricane and be fine, I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, I mean, and I should say, by the way I built the house is built to be extremely wind resistant. I won't bore you with all the details, but this house is wind-wise, I'd ride out any hurricane in it. Like just full on the kind of roof it has. It's got a special metal roof. Going back to Dorian, that crazy ass hurricane I was in the Bahamas, there's a certain kind of roof, and the houses that had it, those roofs stayed on. And so note to self, when I built my house, I had that kind of roof. I got a shutter system. There's airplane cables in the walls that hold the roof down that hold the roof down through the foundation. Nice. Like, because when you get high winds, you get uplift, tornadoes or hurricanes. So there's all kinds of things going on in this house to just wind wise. It'll get through anything.
I feel like you need to be on that pole with like a Doc Brown outfit with the gray thing, hold 2 wires, like something big's going to happen. You need to put a clock on it, like it's a clock tower, and we're going to stop time. I think that would freak your neighbors out completely.
They all think I'm a total weirdo. I mean, I feel, you feel, as a Yankee down here, you feel that way anyway, but then like add to it, not only am I this guy from New York, but like, I'm like the hurricane chaser, and there's a hurricane insignia on the roof gable, and there's this big ass telephone pole in the back with like gadgetry stuck to it. They just think I'm a fucking weirdo, but they tolerate me.
Okay, listen.
Let me ask this question. Like,
I've
seen other hurricane houses in Florida that are domed. Is yours just still the shape of a regular house?
It is. It's actually very traditional looking. And it's funny you ask that, because for a while I was working with a brand as an influencer called Deltec Homes, which is all about it's not domes, but round houses, with the thinking being that that's more aerodynamic. And it is. But there's other considerations like aesthetic. Do you like the way the house looks? Do you like walking up to it? And I just aesthetically, even though it is more aerodynamic, I wanted to live in a more traditional house. And by the way, this is where I am right now is an historical district. So I want it to be like traditional. It's very like New Orleans style architecture around here. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, you can have a house that is not, like one of these sort of space age designs. You just have to compensate by reinforcing it more. Like, you can have any design you want. You just have to properly engineer and reinforce it.
Okay, Josh, we've kind of been talking about the past. Let's talk about the future now. 2025. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so I look big picture historically. So hurricanes, they go according to sort of multi-decadal cycles. So you'll have like So if you look at like hurricane history going back to the 1850s, you have like periods of 20 to 40 years where the US is just getting slammed a lot. And then you have periods where like we're not. When I was a budding weather nerd in the early 80s, like when I was first like, old enough to like track a hurricane, it was, there was nothing going on. It was dead. It was boring. Now it's just like, oh my God, it's like every year, the US is getting multiple major hurricanes. So to bring it to your question, I believe we're in the middle of a busy multi-decadal phase, and I think we're still in the thick of it. And so I believe and that plus just sort of the standard climatological indicators like the ENSO state and the sea surface temperatures, I think we're going to have another busy year. I don't know if it's going to be turbocharged, but I think it's going to be another busy year with multiple U.S. impacts.
Okay, so that leads to another important question, and I'm not, okay, I do not want to open this can of worms. I'm not going to get you to make comment politically about any specific person, but FEMA this year has had some issues. We all are aware of it. Again, we don't have to get into NOAA, same thing. If you have impacts like we had in 2024 happening again this year, and we have less ability to address those with organizations like FEMA, what's going to happen? Like like who fills that void in helping communities?
I think we're going to learn the hard way because, and I think, let me put it this way. I think that lessons are going to be learned about the value of some of these organizations. I mean, I'm a big capitalist. I'm a big believer in private industry. I'm a capitalist, I'm out making money in my different ways, but there are certain areas of society, like I think any areas having to do with public safety, I actually think are best run by the government. I don't think that those are things that should be privatized because the incentive structure is different. And I'm a big believer in our, NOAA and National Weather Service. I'm a big believer in what they do. And also as an American, I'm very proud of them. Our National Weather Service just kicks ass. It's so good. I hunt hurricanes all over the world. So I'm sort of like looking at the data and deliverables of all the other countries' outputs, like, Australia, Japan, Philippines. We kick ass. We do it better than anybody. And I'm like, why would we take a wrecking ball to that? And by the way, something which costs Americans $4 a year, it's just like, and I believe there's a lot of government waste. I'm sure there is. There's a lot of areas to cut, but man, like NOAA, National Weather Service, just the value we get is crazy, and we need to celebrate it, not knock it down.
Josh,
100%.
And I think this is probably the last question, right, before we go to a break. Or actually, I'm not sure, Phil. But so we said about the 2025 hurricane season. Where are, obviously it's impossible to predict the future. Is there any like hot spots that you're like, man, I'm really, maybe in the United States first, and then you could talk maybe globally?
What's really interesting right now is not only is the Atlantic been very busy, but the U.S. has been hit a lot. And to get even more specific, we are in a super, super Gulf-centric phase, okay? Everything's smashing the Gulf Coast, everything. The East Coast has not gotten a lot of action. It's all been in the Gulf. And by the way, other decades are different. In the 1950s, it was the opposite. Everything went up the East Coast and hit the Carolinas, New York, New England. The 1950s was all about the Northeast. Right now, we're in a super Gulf-centric phase, and it just seems to be continuing. So if you look at all the major impacts, they're all there. East Coast has gotten off easy year after year, and it seems like that's continuing. What's really interesting, folks feel like, wow, the hurricanes are getting crazier and they're getting stronger, and there's more and more and more of them. Here they are. The rest of the world, activity has actually been below normal. The Western Pacific, around Australia, those places have had several kind of, fairly dead years. So overall global activity is actually either around normal or down a little bit. But right where we are, it's very busy.
All right, MJ, go ahead and let's bring in Agent Dan and Angela. Give them a chance to, I'm sure they got some questions for Josh as well. Dan, I'll start with you. What do you got?
This has probably been asked several times before, but what would you suggest for a new hurricane chaser? Any suggestions?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. First off, I'll say storm chasing has very few barriers to entry. Like, we all like cool gadgets and cool equipment, but you know what? If you don't have cool equipment and you can't afford those things, that's okay. You can chase with a smartphone, and you could do really good chasing, because with the smartphone, you can get your radar, you can figure out where to go, you could get some good video, this and that. I would like to see young chasers get more interested in trying to measure what's going on and bringing at least portable barometers like kestrels, those like little devices, into these storms. Because if you're going to be in them and you properly deploy one of these instruments, you can collect really valuable data, especially if you're going in remote places. So I would say, yeah, just you can keep it light, but you can make a difference to science with just a little bit of investment.
Thank you.
Kestrel, Phil, I think I'm an expert
I used to
in
have
those,
one
right,
of those,
Phil?
Brady.
I was wondering if that was coming up
I used to
next.
have one until it flew off my
Josh,
car.
there may have been some story about, storm chasing, and I get out and use the Kestrel, and then I might have left it on the hood of the car, and then the car might have driven away, and then the Kestrel might have fallen off the car into the road in the middle of South Dakota.
Can
so,
confirm.
Yeah.
Good times. Good
Phil
times.
wasn't
All right,
happy.
Angela, what do you got?
So I kind of have two questions. The first one is building off of Dan's. What bits of advice would you give somebody who's traveling maybe out of the country for the first time to chase a hurricane, or even here in the U.S., if you're traveling away from home to do it? Like, what would be your advice?
Well, that's a great question. And one thing I learned is the hurricane experience in other parts of the world is completely different than how it is here. So here, and especially in the Gulf Coast, it's all about storm surge, the inundation that goes miles inland, blah, blah, blah. Okay, other parts of the world, that's not even a factor, okay? When you chase, like oftentimes when I'm in Japan and Taiwan, there's no storm surge. It's just the bathymetry offshore is different, that the water's deeper, it doesn't surge as well. So a lot of times in Japan and Taiwan, you're riding out a typhoon, like a Category 4, literally like right on the waterfront or a block inland, and it's fine. Okay, wow. But there's and there's just no storm surge. There might be some big waves, but there's other dangers. Okay. Massive rock slides, and I mean scary ones where like a big boulder falls and just like squashes a car. So we don't have that kind of stuff to worry about, because where we get hurricanes, it's all coastal plain. So bottom line is, just wherever you're going to chase, there's a different set of perils and a different set of challenges. It's not the same as it is here. It just like the sort of the calculus is completely different. And then, of course, there's also like sort of personal safety things. Some parts of the world are less safe than others. And I would say, actually, want to add one other thing. When chasing in developing nations, keep a low profile. Don't rent a big, shiny SUV. Don't just drive a little beat up car that looks like what other people drive. Just dress modestly, et cetera, et cetera. Don't have big branded decals and matching T-shirts. Don't stand out. I know it's like a lot of tornado guys like that, like the coordinated.
Don't dress like Brady. They'll
That's
be all
a problem.
over him.
So Orange Crush would be a problem, Phil. Yeah.
But you want to keep a low profile on these places. So those are some of my thoughts.
Okay, the second question I have is, can I be your Padawan?
Can you be a what?
You can be my Padawan, Angela.
Padawan.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't think Josh is I think we tried this one time.
Star Wars.
I think we tried this one time with Josh. We did a lightning round with like TV or movies, and he's like, "Dude, I'm not a movie guy."
That's an apprentice, pretty much. I have money to burn.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've been asked that, many times, and
I'm sure you have.
I take great risks, especially abroad, and I'm always like, I don't know if I'm going to come back alive, and I don't want to feel like I'm bringing someone else into danger. And I don't just mean the hurricanes themselves. I mean, like, some of the places I go chase, like the State Department says, don't go to those places. They're red zones where you're going to get kidnapped and killed. And I go anyway. So, because it's like the addiction's so strong. And by the way, I'm only this way about hurricanes. Otherwise, I'm like, I'm a total pussycat. I like to stay at home and just like lead a quiet life. But there's just the hurricane thing, man. I can't help it. It's like I'll go to the wrong side of town for the drugs because I need them. You know.
Wow.
And it's just with hurricanes that bring out the animal in me, where I'm going to go to dangerous places and hunt them.
That's intense. Hey, so everybody, that's the sound.
Yeah, it is.
It's time for our lightning round. So this is our game show of flashy and brilliant questions.
Wow.
We get to play with our guests, and everybody's invited to join along in the chat as well. Tonight, Hurricane Man, we're playing a game, a little adaptation to some previous games in the past, but we're calling this Hurricane or Pop Star. All right, so Hurricane or Pop Star. In the past, we've played Hurricane or Supermodel. We've played Hurricane or Soccer Star. But we've kind of run out of supermodel names over the years. And so this is going to be Pop Star. So what I'm going to do is, Josh, I'm going to give you a name. And that name is either a name of a 2025 Atlantic tropical storm name, or it's the name of a pop star. And so you just have to tell me hurricane or pop star. That's all you have to tell me. Make sense?
Yes. No, and I have not looked at. I didn't look at the names this year, so I'm
perfect.
Going to
so this will be fun.
Yeah.
This will be good. All right. So and everybody in the chats, you're invited to join along as well. You just got to tell me hurricane or pop star. Josh, if you really need some help, the freaks can help you out too. But I always tell folks that might not be worthwhile. But here we go. So the first name you got to tell me is this hurricane or pop star is Van.
Van.
Van. V-A-N. Van.
Oh, okay.
Your car?
Pop star.
Really?
That is a 2025. That will be. I'm sure we'll get to the V's. I'm sure, and
At least
Van
we
will
don't
be
have
one
to,
of them.
At least we're not going to have a
Van?
spelling error with
Are
it.
you serious?
Van.
Hurricane
Name,
Van.
actually, for that's
Yeah.
actually kind of cool. Like,
Yeah,
Like Van
that's legit.
Wilder.
Yeah,
They have, like,
that's
Yes.
legit.
I
All right,
kinda
here's the
like
next
that.
one. Josh,
I
here's
would
the
look
next
at it in
one.
my portfolio.
Olivia, hurricane or pop star?
That's a hurricane.
Oh.
It is not. Olivia Rodrigo is some
Who's
massive
that?
2020s pop star. I don't know.
I don't know who that is either, Josh. So,
Well,
I do.
Brady should
yeah,
know
right,
them all,
Greg.
right?
I have an 18-year-old daughter.
All right, so here's the next one. Ariana, hurricane or pop star?
Pop star,
2025
that
her. All right,
Ariana.
yeah, you got that. Ariana
Yeah.
Grande.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
like
got
the
that one.
Starbucks.
Even I knew
coffee
that.
cup.
Very good. All right, Sebastian. Is that a 2025 hurricane or is that a pop star name? Sebastian.
That's a hurricane. That's a hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
correct.
seeing that.
That one I could see a spelling error coming.
That's a legit. I mean, Sebastian, Colin Sebastian's coming in to wreak some havoc. I like that. All right, here's the next one. Dua, hurricane or pop star?
D. Spell it.
D-U-A, Dua.
Oh, that's pop star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dua Lipa?
D-U-A?
Dua
Dua
Lipa?
Lipa. Dua Lipa.
Dua
She's
Lipa.
good, though.
That's a,
Yeah.
is that a real first name?
Dua Lipa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
All
I
right,
can't
here we
remember
go.
where she's from,
Here we
but
go.
she's real
Next
good.
one. Next one, Josh.
Well,
Lorenzo.
That sounds like a pop star, but it sounds like a hairstylist, but that's a hurricane.
Hurricane.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That
well,
is-
Josh,
that
it is also a hairstylist too. So both answers would have been correct.
Hurricane or hairstylist. That's the next game we're going to play. All right, here we go. Zane. Hurricane or pop star?
Okay.
Z-A-Y-N. Zane.
Pop star.
Z-A.
YN? For
Okay.
sure, pop star.
Z-A-Y-N. Zayn Malik.
There's Z's.
From
Like
One
if
Direction.
it was Zane with a Z-A-N-E.
And maybe I'm
We don't
pronouncing
get
it
Z- we
wrong
don't do
too.
Or
Z's.
Z.
Are you sure he's in One Direction? I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
Zayn Malik says prominent
Greg,
solo
Canadian?
artist in One Direction fame. I don't. Maybe he's One Direction's manager.
Greg, come on,
Doesn't
help
say
us
they're
out here.
in One Direction.
No, there's never a Z. We had Zeta, but that was Greek letters. Remember?
Yeah,
There's
no,
never a
exactly.
Z. Really?
No, I think
There's never
they had-
Z.
I think they had a Z that year, but then we had the Zeta, which was not Z. It was just like a Greek.
Yeah, that
letter.
was a Greek letter, but it's like X. I don't think we have an X
there's a
either.
couple
Xavier.
that skip. Like I think
Xanadu.
Xylophone.
There you go. All right, here we
We got
go.
3 whole
A couple
years.
more. We got Rebecca. Rebecca, hurricane or pop star?
That's a hurricane. That's a hurricane.
That's correct.
Wow.
Shakira, hurricane or pop star?
Shake, shake, shake. It would shake
Oh, baby,
your
when
house.
you talk like that, you make a woman go mad.
Does it have any apostrophes?
Wow.
Yeah, Shakira.
That's a pop star, of course.
You have to get
That is a
into
pop
it.
star. Good job. Good job. All right, here's the last one.
A papa cane.
Here's the last one. All right, this is either a hurricane name or it's a pop star name. Karen,
Lipstone.
Oh God.
hurricane or pop star? Karen.
Oh, man.
I got to go
Neither.
hurricane.
That's a hurricane. That's a hurricane.
Neither.
Okay.
That
Oh,
is a
Karen's
hurricane.
going to be a
Oh, your
total,
supervisor.
Oh, that's
that'd be a total wang of a hurricane.
Hurricane Karen's going to to be a real bitch.
Yeah.
She's going to call your supervisor.
Are gonna be endless. Like the memes are just like I fear.
Oh, I can't
God.
wait.
Is
I
that
can't
this
wait.
year? Phil, is that this year?
That's this year. It's 2025. Karen's
I
coming.
really hope Hurricane Karen doesn't end up being one of those ones that lasts for 3 days out in the middle of the Atlantic, you know? Like,
Just screaming.
All right, so great job, Josh. Tell people where they can follow you and follow your 2025 exploits and get an invite to your party.
Oh yeah. On social media, iCyclone, so the letter I in the word cyclone, and yeah, my party. Pretty much, if I meet you and become friendly with you, then you're invited. I really mean that. And if I overlooked anyone, I apologize. I feel really bad about it. So I hope to see a lot of people on Saturday.
I was kind of kidding. You didn't have to make excuses for why you didn't invite Greg and the rest of us. But I'm kidding. You did. So
I invited the Storm Freaks crowd.
you did, and we got reps.
did.
Reps are coming, so I know
No, okay,
Serena's
actually,
coming, and I
Josh-
think Jen is coming, so it's good.
Josh may have told me to pass it on, and I may have forgotten to pass along the invite. So I'm sorry about that. But
No,
Josh,
he shared with us too. He
Yeah,
shared
exactly.
with me. We got it. We were all invited, and Serena and Jen are coming, so we're going to be
You know, there was
represented,
just-
my friend.
I should say, by the way, just enough representation from you guys to avoid going on my hurt feelings list.
Josh!
Yeah, you talk
Hold
about
on.
giving a bad time. You were giving me a bad time about that when
I was.
said
I
that
was.
we weren't all coming down
was
to
a cold
Mississippi in
shoulder.
June. So
No, there was
anyway,
a cold shoulder. But
I'll tell you what.
when are you-
If you're not, what's that?
when am I going to see you here?
I don't
mean,
know.
I'm talking to you.
We have to move our chase week to June, and then we'll come down there because as a family man, it's hard to like take multiple weeks off and tell my family I'm.
This is a
Going all over.
family-friendly event.
Oh, okay.
Josh, I'm
Well,
actually thinking about telling my cousin who I'm in his wedding on Saturday. I'm thinking about telling him to just eat dirt. So who knows? I may show up. Just kidding. I love you, cousin. If you're watching it, I'll be there.
So I'll tell you what, if you're not watching us live on YouTube, come on over to youtube.com/stormfrontfreaks. You can join us in the chat. You're going to have a better viewing experience over there on YouTube. But those of you watching on YouTube, do us a favor. And if you like our show, Brady.
Oh, me?
Yeah, that's your
Oh.
cue.
Smash that like button and smash that subscribe button as hard as you can. If you break your mouse, I will send you a new one.
There you go. So I'll tell you what, we're coming back with Weather Fools and a hurricane-themed film in our tornado trailer trash. So we'll be right back.
well-oiled machine.
What?
The Stormfront Freaks is now available on the Weather Store. Come shop our catalog of shirts, hats, and hoodies, all with our Stormfront Freaks logo and Outbreak logo. Plus, you'll find all your other favorite weather geek and storm chasing gear, footwear, and accessories. Visit the Weather Store at thewxstore.com, the exclusive supplier of the Stormfront Freaks.
Mesoscaleforecast.com brings us StormNet, a state-of-the-art deep learning model designed to revolutionize severe weather forecasting. The innovative tool is tailored to provide unparalleled real-time predictions of severe weather events, including probability of wind, hail, and tornadoes. And now they've added Hurricane Vision, a cutting-edge hurricane track and intensity prediction system that uses deep artificial intelligence to predict the track and future intensity of tropical cyclones. You've seen us use it on our Storm Front Freaks live outbreak coverage with meteorologist Stormcat 5. Now you can use it as well. Visit mesoscaleforecast.com and access live data subscriptions. Plus, when you enter the code Stormfront, you'll receive a 10% discount for life. Yes, for life. Go to mesoscaleforecast.com.
Wait, who's doing weather fills? Am I, Phil?
No.
This is Rick Reichmuth. I'm the chief meteorologist at Fox News and the founder of Weatherman Umbrella, and you are listening to the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Let's take a drive under the moon. Let's take a drive under the somber sky. Let's take a drive under the moon.
Oh yeah, it's about that time. One of our favorite segments of the whole podcast is the Weather Fools. And this is because everybody carries a phone around with a good camera. And we just catch you doing stupid stuff. Hashtag don't do stupid stuff. Because you'll get caught. And then we're going to show it on the podcast. I usually use a different word than stuff, but I'm trying to be nice. And then, we make fun of you because if you're going to do something stupid, that's what you get. So this one was mine. And this is kind of a compilation, but this, why are you going out? Look at this
Whoa,
thing.
That's AI. That's not real.
No, that's real.
That's not real.
I think some of these are mixed in, but they're so funny. Like this one, it looks fake.
That is 100% real.
That is ridiculous.
That's legit.
Okay, that was real.
Some of these are super funny, because people are out when you say when thunder roars go indoors.
Oh yeah, that's real.
It's not real. No, it's not.
Some of these, whatever. But I thought they were funny, so I just used the whole compilation. But it's
that's
one of
real.
those things like stuff.
That's definitely real.
That's not.
Stuck.
Look at how fake that is.
But I liked it.
That weather fool's the tree. Oh yeah, this is.
That would.
Greg, what do you think on that one? What do you think?
That one looked good. That one's fake.
I've seen a few of these clips before. I would say we're maybe 5% legit on these.
Yeah, but I think it's funny, so we're gonna do it. But mainly the first one is the one that caught my eye, where he's jumping in the pool, and then you
lightning
see this
strike.
big
Get
flash
the fuck out of the pool. That's what that is.
All right, Phil, I think you've got 500.
I've got a few. I keep collecting these. Yeah. So the first one is from our friend Steve Collier, the cowboy. I call this It's Heading Right For Us. And this is some dude outside Walmart. And this funnel cloud, it's coming right at him. It is coming right over him. And his buddy's trying to tell him to get in the car. Let's go. And he's like, no, look at this. Did you see this coming?
That's mesmerizing. Though, if you're standing there, it's almost like it puts a spell over you.
Yep.
And you're like, I have to look, even though it's stupid.
Yeah. So it's coming right at him.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one's from Randy Jennings. Sent this to us.
Wow.
You're in Texas when you measure your hail by a Whataburger ketchup container.
That's a good one.
That's awesome.
That was actually reposted by the National Weather Service, one of them down in Texas there.
It's very Texan, like that.
Yeah, next one I call Dude Slow Down in Town. And he's just going too fast. He's in a flood. He's got no control of his car. And he's just going too fast.
Man.
The water's taking him too fast. He's probably breaking the speed limit.
Especially when it's a small car. It's not like he's driving a big truck in Texas who thinks he can drive through everything.
Oh my
God! It's a small car.
Turn around, don't drown, people.
It's like a water ride at a water park, except instead of ending you happy, it's your car's destroyed and you're possibly dead at the end of it.
Yeah, not happy. All right, the next one is from our friend Luna Light. I call this one, they're coming down the stretch and it's anyone's race. This was actually at the in Louisville, Kentucky, at the horse race. And there was a storm coming in and everybody waited. They're like, oh, let's do a party, whatever. Look at the big screen. Please seek shelter and follow directions of the venue staff. That had been up there already for a while, and they all waited in the infield until the wind and the storm actually came, and now they're all scrambling. It's a horse race.
Is that what they call that? The infield?
It's like how other.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's like when people like if you look in a group and some people aren't reacting, then you don't react.
Yeah, herd mentality.
Yeah, it's the herd mentality.
I see what you did there, Josh.
It's also called stupidity. Yeah.
No pun intended.
I see what you did there, Josh, with the horses herd mentality. Wait, are horses herds?
No,
are there
no, I
herds
don't
of
think
horses?
so. No.
What do they call horses in multiple?
A school of horses.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, look at that, Greg. All right. Next one, I call this dishonorable discharged veterans on patrol. This was a post. National Weather Service is on high alert, and both federal as well as state law enforcement agencies are investigating recent threats made against weather radar facilities. The threats are said to have been made by a group calling themselves Veterans on Patrol, described as an anti-government militia, led by this Michael Meyer. That's a good name, right?
Myers.
Who believes the National Weather Service's Doppler weather radar systems are being used as a weather weapon against people in the U.S.
Oh, God, come on.
Well, but Phil, how can you explain the beams on radar and how can you explain the trails in the sky? Okay, there's no explanation.
There's something going on. I agree. There's something.
Wow.
Greg, when are you going to come down and change your citizenship, huh?
Oh my God.
All right. Last one's from Alina Cooper, who's in our chat. I says, I don't think the heavy stuff's going to come down for quite a while. This elderly woman made sure that she put her cart in the cart corral in this heavy downpour.
I like that. I admire that level of citizenship.
Oh,
She's like, I don't want this blowing around the parking lot, hitting other cars.
I'm into her. I think she's awesome. I think we should
she's a true American right there.
let's find her.
I agree. I'm with Josh. She is not a weather fool. She is a true American right there. Or Canadian, Greg, right? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, like that's just polite. That's all that is. Just polite.
That's a responsible.
Because that definitely would have hit somebody.
Now, listen, Dina, I have no idea whether mine got to MJ or not.
Is that your?
Oh, yes, this one is. Okay, so this one comes from me, and I just thought this one was awesome because this, like, listen, this woman gets attacked by a dust devil.
It's like following her.
She just kept walking.
Like in a million years, you could give a million.
Wow.
Like
she's like, it's a little dusty.
This woman should be going and buying a lottery ticket right now.
That is amazing.
She just walks
My
away.
hair's
Just walks
still
away
fine.
from it. I
Her
love
hair
it.
probably looked better than mine on a chase.
Dina, I think your hair looks great on chases. Okay. Whoa.
Now this one comes
Whoa.
from Russia, and
The home
as we play it through again here, you're gonna notice because it just happens at the beginning, but this dude's pool, this above ground pool, looks like he's got this beautiful cement pad that he put down, and then all of a sudden he's trying to hold it, right? He's trying to keep it on the ground. He had no chance.
He's lucky he didn't go over the wall.
That
He
does
was
not
very
look
lucky
like
he
Russia,
didn't go.
though.
Isn't that
does not
wild?
look like
It's the
any
Russian
Russian
countryside,
house I've
Dina.
ever
It's
seen.
it's like
I've been there a couple times. It doesn't.
But have you
look
been to
like
Siberia though? That could be.
That. No, haven't been to Siberia.
I'm sure they have plenty of trampolines in Siberia.
That was a pool, Brady.
That was a pool, above ground pool.
Was it? It looked like a trampoline.
It was.
There's just no water in it.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
his
is that
mistake.
it?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, if he could have just got some water in it, he probably would have saved it. Oh yeah, there it goes.
Yeah, that's a pool.
Because when the wind picked it up and you could see the poles, it did look like a trampoline. But yeah, the first.
What's
few
he
frames.
thinking? Like, it looks like his house is pretty new. Like the backyard was just redone, and there goes his
Like,
pool.
you know how many bottles of vodka I had to trade to get that?
All right, so Dina, that's episode 237.
Yeah.
Go to stormfrontfreaks.com, show notes.
Show notes.
Get all those weather fools.
Oh, yeah. Tornado trash trailers. Oh, this is like, when you're watching a good weather movie and it's like got great graphics and all this, and you're like, wow, this is really bringing me into the storm. And then you see the ones that are kind of like, It's a fake splash. It's a fake fire. It's a fake flame. It's a fake cow. Everything's fake. I don't know. I think
lightning.
you have a couple of those. Yeah, fake lightning. I think you have a couple of those, right?
So I've
Or
got
shark.
one. Knowing we had Josh on tonight, I found a film, Josh, that is hurricane themed. I'd actually never heard of this one before, and a lot of times the tornado trailer trash we play, it's movies I've never heard before. But this one like looked legit. Might have even been in the theaters back just a couple years ago. But the film is called Crawl. And I saw it. Oh, you saw this?
I saw it.
Oh
Yes,
my
it's still
God.
on, like,
Is it like horror? Or...
So it's a hurricane and Crawl. There tends to be, I guess, there's some alligators or crocodiles
There's some
involved.
gators in
Oh,
it.
that's not.
So let's all watch this. And
I don't remember hearing about it. Wow.
I don't know.
Josh is gonna go see this. He's like, hey, that's a film right
One
there.
of the digital apps.
You know how like with tornadoes, like one of the best movie tornadoes is still The Wizard of Oz. Like they did a really good job with it, even though there's no CGI. So it's the same with hurricanes. The best hurricane in a film is from a 1930s film called The Hurricane, and it actually, as a hurricane expert, I could say out of all the film hurricanes, it's the best one.
Wow.
No
Really?
CGI, no nothing. Studio fans, a pool, just it's like sulfur dust. It looks like a hurricane. So, and this film continues that tradition of bad modern effects. What did you guys think of like the recent Twister film? Did you guys think those effects were good as tornado people?
I thought it was awesome.
I did.
I know
Yeah.
I'm on an
I liked it.
island with some of that, but like there's some chasers that didn't like it. But like the story aside, there should have been a kiss, right? Like everyone knows that there should have been a kiss at the end of the movie.
It all comes down
the
for
fact
Greg
that
to
they
the
didn't
kiss.
have a kiss is a travesty. But the tornado sequences were really, really good. Like a huge
I liked
step
them.
over the original Twister.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still amazed.
Nobody was like in an eye of the tornado with all the debris going over you and not hurting you at all.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
scratches, no cuts.
that's
No,
real.
it always
That's-
amazes
that's-
me when they show the gas stations and or wherever all the chasers are hanging out, having their coffee, doing whatever. And then for some reason it's bam, everybody's off going go. Like I've never seen that happen. And maybe it happens sometimes, but people tend to kind of a couple people go, and then a little bit later, a few more folks head off, and then these folks go. It's not a like, oh, they just shot a tornado warning, and this supercell came out of freaking nowhere. Let's all go quick.
I don't know, Phil. If you've ever been to a gas station with Reed Timmer, it's like that because as soon as he leaves, just packs of people swarm. Now, Josh, is there gas stations for hurricanes? Like, is there anything like that?
No, and I was going to say that's the one thing I think that keeps me solidly in hurricanes and international hurricanes is, oh my God, just the overcrowding of your sport. I don't know how you guys, I see those pictures and I like my heart goes out to you because it looks.
We're the cruise ship of vacations. Yeah, you're right.
Or the Disney.
You're the
cruise
Carnival
ship.
cruise.
But the really crappy like off-brand one that just
Yeah.
there's just
Carnival.
like bed bugs in your bed. There's
We're
cockroaches
the
everywhere.
Carnival cruise.
There's people knocking on your door trying to get in your room. Like that's just how it is.
Send me a postcard, drop me a line. You've got mail, baby, yeah.
All right, so we're going to keep moving forward here. So let's check our Freak fan box from one of our moderators who's here with us tonight, Matt, a.k.a. Fuzzy. Fuzzy said on Twitter, says, hey, great episode as always. I legit grew up watching Gabe Garfield on Storm Chasers back in the day. Gabe is an awesome guy. Would love to chase with him one day. So,
That
so
was a
Fuzzy,
great
thanks.
show.
Hey,
That's
we
nice,
might read
Fuzzy.
your comments. We might read your comments on the next show. So just add us on your Twitter or X post or comment in Apple Podcasts. That's another way, too. We'll see that. Or you can just send us an email the old-fashioned way at questions@stormfrontfreaks.com, and we might see your comment on the next show. So I think that just about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast. So thanks for tuning in or watching. Do us a favor, as Brady said, if you like our show, smash that follow and subscribe button, please, right now. Wow, Brady just broke his mouse. He's going to have to order another one for himself.
He's gonna have to order one for himself.
And thanks to our guest tonight, Josh Morgerman. Josh, thanks for coming on again. Number 6.
Can't believe that. I love coming on this podcast. Thank you. I feel like I could let my inner freak come out and not be judged.
Yeah.
Oh, we love it. We love you, man. And you know, we've been doing this now. This is our 10th year. So we'll keep rolling. We'll keep bringing you back, man. As long as you're willing to come back, we'll keep bringing you back.
Every episode.
Yep.
Can you imagine how sick of that?
Our guest again this week is Josh Morgerman.
Josh Morgerman. How's the Hurricane House?
All right, let's go around the horn and co-host, find out where people can follow you. Dean, I'll start with you.
I'm Lady Pilot 70 on just about everything. You can find me there.
Very good. Let's check with you.
Tornado Greg on everything.
Tornado Greg. All right. Brady.
Stormcat 5. And I don't know why that just went black in the back, but that's all right. But Stormcat 5 with
Highlights
an
you.
underscore. Massive shout out to Dina, guys. Dina is an epic meteorologist. So just saying, she's pretty awesome.
Brady.
Just
That's
huge shout out
love.
to Dina.
Thanks.
All right. Dan Wallace, how about you? Where can people find your content?
Hi, YouTube. Dan Wallace. Dan Wallace WS. I couldn't find the mute button fast enough.
I put you on the spot there, brother.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Agent Dan. Everybody.
And Dan is a great video editor. Like, we watched a video he did with us. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It was great. And then Angela, how about you? Where can people follow you?
I'm XJAngel89 on X or Twitter. And then What the Girl on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah, you are an angel. Actually, you are an angel.
Yeah.
Angel.
That song must
All
be
right,
before my time.
So everybody wants to know next episode, besides having Josh Morgerman probably back on the next episode, it has been a long wait to get this Storm sister on the podcast, I'm telling you. But we have got the badass hockey player and storm chaser, Sierra Lindsay. She's flying into the studio. So we're looking forward to chat. I don't know. Sounds good. So we're looking forward to having her on. So everyone can join us on Thursday, June 19th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, right here on YouTube. Or you can catch the audio podcast uploaded that weekend. So for those of you still watching, stick around for our after show party. And for Josh and Dan, Greg, Brady, Dina, and Angela, I'm going to signal the all clear, and we'll catch you next time. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
See you on the next
Thank
one.
you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Stormfront Freaks podcast. Our bi-weekly show is available on your favorite audio podcast player and on YouTube, along with other videos from the Stormfront Freaks network, including forecasts and live storm coverage from Stormcat 5 and weather education from WX Serena. Find them at youtube.com/stormfrontfreaks. You can support the Freaks at YouTube by subscribing and becoming a member to take advantage of member-only benefits. For show notes, past shows, videos, merchandise, and more, visit our website at stormfrontfreaks.com. If you would like to contact us with questions or make comments about the show, shoot us an email to questions@stormfrontfreaks.com or follow us on social media. Search for Stormfront Freaks. We'd love to hear from you. Join us next time and tell a friend about the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Call me.
What'd you just say?
You muted.
yourself.
Bueller.
I was saying, it was like, contact us. I was like, call me.
Oh, call me. Call me maybe.
Hey,
Call me
MJ.
anytime.
MJ, I've got a great
Yes,
title
sir.
for the show.
We don't do that anymore, but go ahead.
No. Yeah.
Raked with a K.
Oh, that would be good, actually. That would be really good.
Oh,
Yep.
God.
That would be good.
That would be great.
Along with Josh's, if you've seen the thumbnail I did with Josh's
Oh, yeah.
shirtless image flexing and everything, and just call it Raked with a K.
Is he on a horseback?
Yeah, was he on a horse?
It was so
Yeah,
outrageous. It was like, and I'm like, I'm closing a deal with a new a client to be an influencer, and I'm like sure that they were looking at my feed like that day, and that's what they saw.
Hey, sex sells, Josh.
It does.
Hey, honestly, I'm learning a lot from Brady about thumbnails. And I've been, Greg, you and I, because we're old farts. We're all about make sure it's descriptive and says where to go and what to do and all. And it's like Brady's showing
flashy
us
colors, big letters, and
a couple arrows.
Arrows,
one
that's
person.
it.
That's it. Like just make it sexy.
One, your
or
face going like
attractive.
this, or like
Phil, years ago, and I'm talking seriously, like 13 years ago, I posted a video, and it was a great tornado video, and the thumbnail that I used was a picture of the tornado, and then I put really very obviously bad Photoshop of a cow, in the tornado, right?
Genius.
I mean, anybody would look at that and know that there's clearly not going to be a cow. And if you go in the comments, that video has 10 million views, and if you go through the comments, and I bet you there's 50,000 comments, and every second comment is, "What a piece of crap! I can't believe there's no cow in this video. This is false advertising." And, people are so angry that there's no cow in the tornado.
And you took that to the bank.
Yes.
Genius.
Yeah.
He's smart.
although Stormcat 5's his thumbnails, I call it the SpongeBob effect. Like people like bright colors,
right?
Vibrant, squirrel type of thing.
That's
I call it the SpongeBob effect because you're kind of like getting.
You gotta
to
have
the
a spotlight.
brain.
You gotta, especially when you're small. You gotta have a big, massive spotlight to somehow get them to click on it. Because if not, they're just gonna be like, eh.
So anyway, so Josh, it was a legit good thumbnail. I think it caught plenty of people's attention.
It was.
And if I like putting big letters Raked with a K on it, that might be more legit. But I won't do that because I want to make sure you don't get some bad rep with your.
No, it was awesome. No, I liked it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was on brand for this podcast because it is kind of like, the more outrageous one.
A little bit. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So can you
We're the best.
give us a little teaser on this influencer client? Is it the beard guys? Is it the is it just for men? Is that what it is?
Oh my God!
I could use that.
In Mexico, they call it "Sí, señor."
Oh
I swear to God.
No, really?
Yeah, it's called "Sí, señor."
Okay.
Now it's all my work now is pushing hurricane resistant buildings. So it's stuff around that, whether it's products or materials or that's just that's like my niche now. So no, it's not cosmetics or
Well, hey, if you're built like a brick, I mean, it makes sense. You're built like a brick. Your house is built like a brick. You're both made to withstand a hurricane, right? I mean, it's on brand.
Now listen, I mean, you got to think of all those things. It's like a full package. So it makes TV and influencer work so hard is you have to work out, stay in shape, all that stuff.
Can we? One thing we haven't talked about yet this evening, because MJ did transition really quickly into one of the videos.
Sorry.
Well, no, it's. I think you did the right thing because. Can we talk about that commercial that Brady and Phil made for Weatherfront?
Oh,
I liked it.
Like, how have we not got there so far? Whose brainchild was this one, Phil?
Says Phil was like, I want to do the Monty Python. I started running, and Phil's like, wait a second, let's do this is a Monty Python. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. So Brady was doing a running thing, and I posted it, and people are like, is that who's the running Tom Hanks?
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
I was kind of running like Forrest Gump.
Is that Forrest Gump? And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, but it aged
Put
me
your
because
arms
I'm like,
behind you
wow, that's
and
really
ran like
old.
that.
We got to
That
go
would've
way
been
back to
funnier.
the 80s on this one. And I'm like, oh yeah, we got to do this. I can edit this, make it good. Yeah. Did you catch on to that, Greg, right away?
Yeah,
Did you
it
know?
was great. I loved it. I loved it.
Phil and I literally went in the middle of a field in like Cincinnati, Ohio.
No, it
and
wasn't
just-
Cincinnati. It was between Cincinnati and
Or where was it
Columbus.
called? What was the town?
We were
I don't know.
close.
I gave him a Dairy Queen cake, and then he had to drive. he had to like get that home within 4 hours.
It was on my birthday, and we were meeting, in between Columbus and Cincinnati. And he shows up before we were going to start because that was the point of meeting, was to kind of film some stuff to create some commercials. And he shows up with a Dairy Queen cake, and I'm like, we haven't even started filming anything yet, and I still have to drive back home, and you just gave me an ice cream cake.
Happy birthday.
I was wondering if you were eating a Blizzard or something.
It was. He also got us a Blizzard. Yeah,
he was. That was a Blizzard.
Yeah, if you're with Brady, you gotta have a Blizzard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got to.
So we got more coming, Greg. There's gonna be the next one I'm gonna work on is gonna be pretty good. It'll be
right on.
So,
So that movie.
So Josh, great job tonight, man. You were awesome
Thank you.
as always.
Nah,
Love having
thank
you.
you. Thank you for
Angela,
having
what were
me.
you going to say?
I said that movie was awfully like those apocalypse ambient shows that I'm listening to.
That is the weirdest shit I've almost ever heard of, I think. Is
Well, I
listening
said-
to like are there any with like zombie moans in the background?
Yeah, well, there's so I've listened to it's you're listening to the radio during the Yellowstone super eruption. It's pretty much you're listening to the radio during the end times, and yes, there is a zombie version.
That's nuts. Brady, I thought I heard a zombie from you earlier tonight. I kind of laughed. I think, Josh, you were talking about Hyann. Is it Hyann? Hyann. You were talking about that, and so it was kind of a serious moment, but Brady goes, ah.
Did you make fun of Hyann?
No. He just was like interested.
When I'm interested, I tend to
like,
sounds just tend to
like
come
that,
out,
but he
and
just
I
kind
don't
of
really know what's happening. I just kind of.
Brady's the poster
always
child
done that.
for random off sounds.
Sounds.
Yeah, sounds just tend to just come out. I don't know what's going on.
And pretend you're in the car with him a lot, so that's interesting too.
Brady, how many tornado reports today?
I think there's only been like 5 or 6. Now it was from the same storm.
tornado. Yeah,
I'm telling you that Lubbock storm. So I was on read stream from like 3 to 9, basically streaming, and throughout that time period, it was one storm, and that same storm produced I think about 6 to 7 different tornadoes, like completely different tornadoes. It was one of the crazy. Of course, Dina. It was right next to Lubbock.
Right. And I'm looking at the hail core. There was radar indicated 5-inch hail.
Woo!
Radar indicated.
Greg, you're wondering tornado of the year. Tonight was tornado of the year probably.
Has anybody seen any photos or video of it?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, they had some here.
That big dusty one that a lot of people got. Yeah, that's kind of cool looking actually. I mean, for a tornado.
Oh my god!
Speaking of big things,
don't dive too deep into that, Josh. Like, you got to pull back a little bit. Can't give too much credit to those little skinny things.
Hey, Josh, I didn't get to ask you this serious question. Do you wear any safety gear when you're chasing, like a helmet or, like a flak jacket?
Do you do a Cantori with the goggles and stuff?
Picture.
I don't wear anything. I wear like sports.
He doesn't wear anything.
Exactly.
I'm embarrassed that I don't because I should. I was thinking to start wearing goggles at least to protect my eyes, but no, I've never worn anything. And I it's kind of like it's the same like when I bike. I don't wear a helmet. I'm just kind of like I like the free feeling.
Old, dude.
I know it's bad. I'm a bad example.
Did you say free balling? Is that what you said?
I did not say that.
Sorry.
But
Okay.
No, actually, I like to have proper, just support. Let's say.
Brady, is that the tornado from today?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've seen some pictures. Yeah.
That whole wall cloud
That's
was
intense.
rotating. Yeah.
Oh, that tornado that
Yeah, you missed that.
So
Dina,
was
I'm pretty
Jen
sure
was Jen on this?
Yeah, she was. I'm pretty sure, Dina, we were on this road just driving back from Clovis one day.
Bullshit.
Probably this exact road,
I'm just like, kick me in the freaking
Who was
teeth
Jen out
today.
with, Phil?
I saw a photo with her and Eric Fox. So I think her and her
Mm.
sister were with Eric Fox yesterday. And so I'm assuming they probably were with Eric and whoever else. Yeah.
Are any of you wishing that since you're all like tornado people, twisty people, do any of you wish that you were out today, or you're kind of like, whatever, it's cool?
Oh, always. It's always jealousy all the time.
Oh, okay. No, because I get it really bad. Like, I mean, the rare occasions when I miss a big storm, it's like someone died. It can be really bad.
These are the days that I
Quarterback
literally
lost the
do
game,
not
the
go.
championship game.
Yeah, these are the days I don't go on social media.
Well, and it hurts. Josh, it hurts even more because literally the past 3 years we have done nothing but been in Lubbock, Texas. I think out of the we maybe chasing 20 nights, we probably stayed in Lubbock 15 of those nights. Like out of the past 3 years, and so
We know our way around. We know the people. We go to the same Krispy Kreme.
The lady at the front desk at our hotel knows me my first name now. I mean, I'm telling you. When I call her, she's like, "Oh, Brady," and I'm like, "Oh."
Stormcat, follow.
Okay,
I was
you
gonna
guys
say,
are all
I
you guys are all having a little bit of, and I listen. Even though I chase different stuff than you, I can totally relate to it. But you guys are all having that feeling of like kind of a missing. The worst feeling, and you can't describe it to a non-storm chaser. If you're
Josh,
not,
I'm not saying I don't want to be here with you.
Yes, he is.
But I would rather be there. No offense.
So Jen texted me like 30 minutes before we were going to start this show. Watson was supposed to be on the show tonight, Josh, and she sends me a text and says, "Hey, I'm not going to make it tonight because I'm on this, Lubbock storm." and I was going to respond back like, what the fuck? Like, you're telling me now that, but then I'm just like, no. But that, like, you talk about you and James being friends, and yet, and so it's like with Jen, I'm just like, whether it was Jen or Dina or Brady or Greg, doesn't matter. I just would be like, fuck you. Have a good time. Good luck. But fuck you.
I missed the third largest.
The biggest skill, like part of becoming an adult for me was like, gritting your teeth and being like, "Great chase, that was wonderful. I loved your video." Like just forcing yourself to say that because it's the right thing to do, even though it hurts.
It's being an adult is not saying what you really want to say.
What was it? 2 years ago, Nebraska, or was that last year? That was last year.
Yeah.
Going across the interstate, and I was just like, "Fuck you."
Okay.
Fuck you, Greg.
So
awesome shot.
Here's the other crappy.
My mom loves her Instagram too, by the way, Greg.
Well, here's the other crappy thing about a day like today is that, like everybody I know here, I'm the only person that storm chases, right? Like within my sort of circle, right? And so on a day like today, I'm going to get nothing but emails and texts. "Oh my God, did you see this? Oh my God, did you see this?
Yeah.
Oh my God, did you?"
No, that totally.
But Greg, hold on. Did you see this picture? Hold on, I've got another really good one.
Oh God!
Okay,
Stop.
show me.
And I was gonna be out there too. I had a ticket booked out there for today, but then my cousin's wedding. And Josh, once again, I am sorry about that. I spaced on my cousin's wedding, and Phil will tell you I space on stuff all the time.
There's only one way to fix it. I mean, you made the mistake about the tornado. Don't make the same mistake about the party.
That's a good. You know what? You know what? That's a good point.
You're gonna let this wedding ruin your whole life. It's already ruined half of it.
Well, yeah. There's a decent chance it's gonna. He's gonna have another one, right? I mean, he'll probably have another one at some point.
Exactly. Juniors, come to the second one and show support when he needs it.
Good point. If my aunt is watching this, good thing it's past her bedtime because that would be a big problem.
He's gonna have another one.
I've already had two.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, I'm on number
And is
3.
the second one over?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I have follow through, Josh. I've completed them both.
I'm impressed. You're
Greg, just marry Phil already. Come on.
Oh.
Well, no, but listen, I want to say kudos to all of you for fighting through that feeling. Because I'll tell you, when I had that feeling, when I missed something,
I can't fight this feeling.
I can't. I can like literally be like immobilized from it, like just like laying in bed, not taking calls. And Greg, like you said, staying off social media.
Oh yeah.
For me, the really bad one was, that sudden, that it was 2 years ago, that crazy, like a Cat 5, and then it formed in like 3 hours and hit Acapulco. It was that.
What was it called?
Otis.
Was it?
And no one else chased it. No
on the
one
West
chased
Coast.
It was on the West Coast of Mexico, which is like that's my area. Like West Coast of Mexico is like, it's like my kingdom. It's like, it's like my specialty. Oh no, I wanted to kill myself. And like my mother, but
that went out like that. Just
it didn't matter.
Escalated quickly.
It didn't matter, and it was like my mother was
like
coming
shit,
down.
Though. Don't feel bad. It didn't look like shit the day before.
It didn't matter. I was like, it was bad, and it was like a bereavement process, and it went on for weeks. I couldn't even talk about hurricanes. That's how bad it was. So,
But that's like my life because of my job.
What?
Like it'll be like tornado, like my house almost got hit by like the third largest tornado in Oklahoma State history 5 days before my birthday. And then I'm just like, I come home and then it's like blue skies. So like when I have the ability to chase, it's like always nothing.
I know. Greg, you're going to hate me, Greg. Look here. Put me full fill.
I'm watching it. I'm watching it.
Put me full fill. My mouse is broke, so I can't go full. What?
Uh-oh. No,
just click on my... There we go.
Yeah.
So this was the storm, Greg.
Oh, wow.
Even on reflectivity, you can see that rotation.
Yeah, I got to figure that
crazy.
out. It goes black screen every once in a while. Hold on.
Hey, wow.
This guy's like dancing outside my window.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So, Brady, are you using Weatherfront like on a tablet, an Apple tablet?
This was when it was just a mega wedge, like right there.
Yeah.
And that was just when it was like a huge wedge.
Now put it as it goes through Lubbock. Show as it goes through Lubbock here. Keep going.
Can you split screen and show the?
Okay. So look at that rotation right there on
velocity?
the west side of the right there. Wow.
Dang.
Wait,
That was the tornado emergency, was it?
No. This is it right here.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's with the warning color?
So that's the new. There's now a new severe thunderstorm warning for another storm that's pushing.
That's just the new one.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it was.
Wow.
This was the. Let me go. Yeah. It was. It was a.
All right. We missed it. Jesus.
June is the new May.
I know. It's like you guys are masochists.
Yeah. Here. Let's go street by street here. So here was our hotel that we always stay at.
Fuzzy's saying it was a PDS, but never tornado emergency.
It was not. Yeah, it was not.
Josh, we just need to eat our feelings. That's it.
I got to figure out this graphics card thing, Phil.
Oof. No, that's cool.
Guys,
I mean, you've got certainly an experimental version of Weatherfront.
Oh, it's very experimental over here.
Trying to send it to your computer. So
guys,
pretty much everything about this.
I got to roll.
No, it's time. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Everybody say goodbye.
Goodbye. Hey, real quick, we're doing an after show. We are doing an after show. So if anyone wants to join, we're going to have some storm chasers on.
Yep. Go back to Stormfront Freaks YouTube and watch the next show Brady's doing, the Aftermath.
Yep. And if anyone else on the podcast wants to join, feel free.